Hi, so this is Tuesday's lesson, Tuesday the 19th of February then, Tuesday the 19th of May. Carrying on with our position and direction, and we're looking at translating 2D shapes today. Okay, so let's have a look. So just to recap, I'm going to do this at the start of each one. We've got the three main things that we're looking at with position and direction. There are more, but at this stage these are the main three that we look at. And the heading or title that we give to all three of them is transformations. Okay? So we mentioned it yesterday. You've got reflect, which means we flip it over, translate, which means we move it, and rotate, which means that we turn it. So I'm just going to give you some examples of translation, and then I'm going to give you some to do on your own. Okay? So it says here, translate A, 3 squares to the right and 4 squares down. Translate B, 4 left and 2 down. And translate C, 2 right and 1 up. So basically it's the number of squares. Now it's not just the corners, it's the actual squares. So this one here, let me just get the pen. This one here doesn't count as one. It's at one jump. So you go 1, 2, 3. Okay, so it's 3 jumps to the right and then 4 jumps or 4 squares down. So again, you don't include the one that it's on. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. And then it goes there. B, we wanted to move it 4 left and 2 down. Now they can go across the axes, okay? So it goes 4 squares across, or 4 squares left I should say, and then 2 squares down, 1, 2. So the new position of B would be there. And then C, we wanted it to go 2 right and 1 up. So the new position of C would be there. So what I want you to do, obviously you can't draw them for me, so I want you to describe the translations that have taken place from one of these dots to the other. So for example, from A to B, so from here to here, we have gone 9 units to the left and 1 unit up. So let's just check. We've gone 1, 2, 3, 4, be careful with this one, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then we've gone 1 unit up. Okay? What you can also do as well, it doesn't matter which way around these two are in, so you could, if you wanted to, you could have said 1 unit up and then 9 units left. It would have still given you the same position. So these instructions here, it doesn't matter which order they are in. Okay? So what I want you to do is tell me how many you've had to move to get from C to D, then from D to B, from A to C, and from C to B. So make sure you write down the direction and make sure you write down how many. Alright, off you go. Okay, so from C to D, you've gone 6 units right and 7 units down, and like I said, it can be the opposite way around as well, so you could have said 7 units down and then 6 units right. D to B, 8 units left and 10 up. A to C, 7 units left and 2 down, and C to B is 3 units up and 2 units left. Okay, this time I'm going to give you the instructions and I want you to move them, and again you can't draw it, don't expect you to, so using your finger or using a pencil to try and point to where it should be. I want you to follow what the translations say, and then I want you to give me the new coordinates. So I want you to start off by writing down the coordinates of A, B and C here. So it says write down the coordinates first. Then I want you to translate each of them, the amount that it says, and then write down the new coordinates. Off you go. Okay, so the coordinates, the original coordinates to start off with are there. So tick those if you got them right. And then if we move them, this is where the new positions would be, and that's what your new coordinates would be. So give those a tick or write the correct answer if you didn't quite get them right. Okay, so now we've just done moving points so far, but you can move or translate actual full shapes. And in that, you have to do the exact same to each of the corners or each of the vertices. So I'm just going to do another demonstration here. So it says, translate the shape 7 spaces to the right. So basically with this, you do what we've just done before with the points, and you do it for each one. So you get each point individually, A, and then you would translate that. So you do it 7 places. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then you do the same for C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and the same for B and D. And then once you've got all of your corners, you can then join them together to make the new shape. Okay? So I want you, oh no, so sorry, this time, this is still a demonstration, I'm going to give 2 instructions. So you're going to do the same again. So this time it's going to be move it down, so 5 down. So again, we do each point as it is. So we would do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that would give us point A. Then we'd do B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 would be there, and then C would come down to here, and D would be here, and then we would go 3 to the right. So get A, and you go 1, 2, 3, and you can see the new position there. B, 1, 2, 3, you've got your new position. C, 1, 2, 3. So you would do that in 2 steps. So you do the down first, and I would suggest, if you were drawing it, that you would put the dots on, and then you would move them across to the right. Okay? So when you do these kind of ones, and I'm asking you to write the coordinates, it might be an idea to write down the coordinates of what it is at that stage. So what would it be when you've gone 5 down, and then what would it be when you've gone 3 right? Because if you think about it, when you're going up or down, the only number on your coordinates that's going to change is the Y number. So if you're going up or down, it's going to be the second digit that changes. If you're going left or right, it's going to be your first digit, because it's going to be the x-axis that changes. So if you've got 2 steps to do, move them down, and then you know that you're only changing the second digit. Then move them across, and you know that you're only changing the first digit. Okay? So for this one then, I'm only asking you to move it in one direction. So you're just moving it 7 to the right. So again, write down the coordinates of A, B and C as they are. Then move it 7 places to the right, and write down what the new coordinates would be. And just be careful with this one here, because that jump there is a square. Okay? Off you go. So that's where the new position would be, and that's your starting and finishing coordinates. And as you can see there, like I said on the previous slide, if you're moving it from left to right, okay, you know that it's only the x-axis that's going to change. So you can see here that the second number has stayed the same, because we've not moved it up or down at all. So the number on this y-axis hasn't changed. The only one that has changed, let's change the colour, is the x-axis, because we've been moving it to the right. And what you should be able to see there is that because we've moved it 7 places, we've gone from -6 oops, that should be a straight line, to 1. And the difference between those is actually 7, because you've got a jump of 6 to take you to 0, and you've got a jump of 1 to then take you to this one here. So actually, one way to do it, so for example on this one, without having to do it on a grid like this, you should be able to say, right, well my starting coordinate there for C is -4, so let's write -4 down. And then I know that I am going to be moving it right, so it's going to go in that direction, so I'm going more positive by 7 numbers. So I'm adding 7 basically. So if you draw a number line and you say, right, well let's jump 4 up to 0. So I've added 4, and how many did I need to add in total? I needed to add 7. So if I've added 4 already, I need to add another 3. So that would take me to 3, which if you look here, it does. So that's a way that you can do it without actually having to draw it or count the squares. You can use the coordinates if you feel comfortable enough to just add it on to the correct one on here. You just need to remember that X is on this side and Y is on that side. So whichever way you are going, so left and right, up and down, whichever one you're going is what number is going to change. If you're doing a translation that is going to say move left and then move down, then you know that both digits are going to change. Okay? Right. So on this one then, I want you to write the coordinates of A, B, C and D. Out of the 2 methods that I just showed you on the previous page, you can use either of those or both of those to check your answer. I want you to do it 8 to the right and 2 down. So you can either count the squares, or you can look at what it is and you can do that calculation where you do -5 plus 8 and see what the new coordinate would be. Whichever one you feel more confident with. If you feel more confident with just counting the squares, then go for that. So write down the coordinates as they are, translate the shape, 8 right, 2 down, and write down the new coordinates. Off you go. Okay, so let's go through the answers then. So it would have moved to there, so it would have gone 8 across, which would take A to here, and then we would go 2 down, 1, 2, so A becomes here. And I can check that by saying -5 add 8 would take me to 3. -2 add 8 would take me to 6. And then going down, we're going to be going 2 down. So we started off on -2. So for A, -2 subtract 2 would take me to -4. And then for B, -4 subtract 2 would take me to -6. Okay? So those are what your starting and finishing coordinates would be. So you can see on that one, I've basically gone add 8, and then here I have gone subtract 2, which is exactly what it says here. Add 8, subtract 2. For that as well, it's worth knowing that if you go in, so for adding, it's either right or up, and if you're subtracting, it's going to be if you're going left or down. Okay? Okay, write down the coordinates of A, B, C and D. Describe this time the translation from the yellow to the green square. So I want you to write these coordinates down, and then I want you to tell me what the translation has been. So it's going to be 2 steps because it's gone up and it's also gone right, but how many? And then also it says the yellow square is translated 2 units to the right and 8 up. Which colour is it translated to? So then you just need to write a colour there for your answer. Pause the video and have a go at that. Okay, so the original coordinates are there. The translation from the yellow to the green is 9 units right and 5 up, or it can be the opposite way around, 5 up and 9 right. And the one that this has been translated to when it goes 2 units to the right and 8 units up is orange. Dexter was asked to translate the blue rectangle 6 units down and 1 unit to the right. He drew the orange rectangle. Was Dexter correct? Explain your reasoning. So just reread that question, have a look, see whether you think is it correct or not, and write down your reasoning for what you've written. Off you go. No, he was incorrect. He went 6 units right and 1 unit down instead of 6 units down and 1 unit right. So he did the correct number of moves, but he did them in the wrong direction. And finally, the green triangle has been translated 6 units to the left and 2 units down. Explain the mistake. So again, reread the question, have a look at that and see if you can spot the mistake that that person has made. So, although A has been translated correctly, so let's have a look if it has, 6 units left and 2 down. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2. So the point A, or the vertex A, has been translated correctly. The mistake in that is that the triangle has been enlarged. So if you look, this triangle here is 1, 2, 3 down, 1, 2, 3 across, whereas the new triangle that's been drawn has gone 1, 2, 3, 4 down, 1, 2, 3, 4 across. So it's been enlarged by 1 square. We call that dilation, but that's something that we're not looking at because you don't do that till high school. But basically, if it's enlarged, it's been made bigger, so they've done it incorrect. Okay? It says there, when translating the shapes, they must stay the same size. And that's you done for today. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I shall speak to you tomorrow.